Hello everyone, it's Nick Lawson with cdc-TakeCharge software, and this is lesson 16 on how to build a more robust and user-friendly contact management application in Alpha software. Today what we're going to discuss is how to control data views on a pop-up form. If you remember from an earlier lesson, we discussed the fact that if you're writing an application that hides the Alpha software wrapper, you will not have access to toolbars and drop-down menus. Typically, toolbars are used to take and control your data views with various buttons that do filters and queries and display data results or statistics, and none of that is available to you. So to do the same thing, you have to create button objects on your form that emulate what the toolbar does. Let's look at how that works. If I right click on the 14th, I come up with my X dialog box that shows all the things we can now do, and we'll go over each of these in a future lesson plan, but not today. So we're going to look at all available notes regardless of date. Now my quick note organizer pops up, and I can take and scroll through my list, of course, to take and find what I want, or I can use one of my data view control buttons. So I can sort my list from A to Z, and then Z to A, and do the same thing out here. I can use the quick filter to take and filter down for a specific date. I'm on the 14th. Quick filter, I have 2 records. I can show all again. It also works over here on the actual form and not just in the browse. So let's say I want to see all records that are not completed. I select my option over here, and then I click my filter, and there you go. All these are not completed. So as a user, I can go through and do some cleanup on my application and make sure that the things that are done, mark them as complete, and then use the option to delete records for the dates I cleared. Now, you say, okay, well that all sounds pretty straightforward and it's easy enough to do. But when you're on a toolbar and you take and do a quick filter, the object on the form maintains focus. So therefore the quick filter works. If you place a button on a form and you do a quick filter on a field, as soon as you click on the button gets focus. So now your quick filter is trying to filter on an object that's a button, and that has no filter. It's only there. So you have to write some logic that takes and tells it to find the object that you want to filter on. Let's look at how that's done. So I'm going to exit out of here, and we're going to go to our control panel, and we are going to come down to our new form, which is our quick note organizer. And here you go. So now on the filter, in order to take and filter on a object on the form, you have to first find out is what are you filtering on. So here we have the code, if object top parent dot active class equals button, then we want to go to the previous object that had focus. So we reactivate that, then we run our quick filter. That's pretty simple. This is actually a very good way to take and control data flow on your form, to do testing. For example, let's say you want to arrive to a form, you want to take and look at the previous object's value, and if it was not filled out correctly, you could stop the user from proceeding by using this type of logic. So it's a good little bit of code to know. Now let's look at some of the other ones. Here on the show all, we do not need that, because basically we're just telling the application to show all records for the form that we're on. And then we attach to the browse 1, and we fetch the first record so that we have a clean, neat display and the customer can see that action took place. Here on the A to Z and Z to A, again, we take and check to see Is the active object a button? If so, go to the previous object that was selected and perform the A to Z on that object. So we're sorting A to Z on any object that's on the form. So we can sort by name, we can sort by date, we can sort by complete or not complete, by follow-up date, by note type. So pretty much anything that you can do in a standard form with the Alpha software wrapper, you can now do on a pop-up form. Okay, well, I hope you found this useful, and I know this is a short lesson, but there's quite a bit that has to be done on this particular form and our Xdialog calendar pop-up, so I will be breaking it down into components. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.